Further announcements. Customers for Stoke and Stoke-On-Trent, please.
Good morning, welcome
to the station for road replacement coach services.
I stopped that for a reason, because you heard we got problems at Stoke-On-Trent. Hopefully you had a good happy new year. This is the first one in 2016. That was supposed to be by train to Stoke-On-Trent, but now it's going fast to Crewe. We've got off at Stafford Railway Station, and we're going to get the 0801 cross-country service, which is also being diverted by Crewe. Crewe, Stockport, Manchester. Today we are going to a place called MOSI. If you're thinking what the hell is MOSI, I will tell you now. It stands for the Museum of Science and Industry. Today marks, you could say, the execution of the longest railway serving station in the UK being axed off the network. We'll go more into detail, but it's getting there first that's going to be the problem. Well, it's not going to be a big problem, but we are going to get there soon, hopefully, on this next train on the cross-country, going by Crewe. Cross-country by Crewe, that is a bit of rare for Voyager, but, well, not rare for Voyager, but rare for the cross-countries, even though they get a service a day going by Crewe. They do. There's one about after 6 o'clock going to the south. Anyway, but that's for another time. But now we're just going to try and get up to Manchester as quick as we can. So hopefully you enjoy this documentary, video diary, whatever you want to call it. And this is one for the haters, because they like to dislike the videos. Like I say, you dislike it, I will do another one, and another one, and another one. So sit back and hope you enjoy today's show. My name is Simon Paul. I'm just a regular guy with a hobby. With a passion for trains. And also enjoy travelling by train. And if anyone thinks I do these videos to make myself famous, well, I'm afraid I got some bad news. I do these for fun. So sit back, enjoy your ticket, and enjoy my railway journey. See here we are on the slow line going to Crewe. We're just about to pass Crewe Lane and WR. That shunter is 08204.
Ladies and gentlemen, your next station call in just a couple of minutes will be Crewe. Crewe next station. And if you are leaving us here, please ensure you take all personal belongings with you. Do mind the gap between the train and the platform edge. Crewe next station call.
is 67002 there. And we're arriving on platform 5. So there, 22018 just arrived from Stoke-On-Trent on the shuttle service, and we're just leaving Crewe now to carry on to Manchester. Just past Old Road Station.
Good morning, tickets and passes, rail cars from Crewe station please. Tickets and passes.
And now we're passing through Winslow Station. Slightly to Manchester now, about 11. Or now 12. At 12 minutes late is no big deal. MOSI just opens at 10 o'clock. Here comes our train to Deansgate, the 946 to Blackpool North and Windermere. This one close to me, 134, is going to Blackpool North, the other one's going to Windermere. Just caught me missing breakfast. Here we go.
We're stepping down. Now arriving at Deansgate.
Now arriving at Deansgate station. I'm going to film this leaving and then get away to MOSI. There you go, it's 185114 going to Windermere. You see straight ahead, the museum's right here. Still open till 10 o'clock, I've got a few minutes. I do have some facts. There's my phone, because I've got Wikipedia up for this. Where are we? 4, 9. We're going to get away with the phone lock then. There we go. Nope, that's something else. Here we are, museum. It was established on the 15th September 1983. Location on Liverpool Road in Manchester. This building right here is the exterior of the museum air and space hall. We're going through this way. It's this entrance this way. That's here. We got it over. Haters would be there. See, because this back here would be a good place there. As you can see, there's the oldest railway station there, and literally from here there's going to be a cord connected onto that line that takes you to Manchester Victoria. Deansgate is right here. No, there's Deansgate there. So we walked it down there, and basically you can walk down the Liverpool Road there. So it's not far a walk, but no, this new cord, I think it's called the Ordsall Cord or something like that, it begins with O. It's going to link here from Piccadilly, a direct service to Manchester Victoria straight from Piccadilly, but sacrificing this part of the main line here, which links the main line into Manchester, the old Liverpool Road terminus, which was used by the Liverpool and Manchester Railway. And we're going to go in now and have a look around. You can see here, this is where the furthest end go in the museum. Can't go any further, but the tracks down there link onto the main line. But this is where the cord is going to be, so you can see how low, because there's the line from Deansgate right there. See the gantry there, but the cord is going to fly across over there, and you can see how low the line is there, so it would have to take the chunk out of this museum. So basically they would only have a short piece of track, but running down there is not going to be, it's going to be history, and the line making this the longest service station cut off from the main line, even though there's no train stopped here, but there has been a few specials in here. There was also a time when 47-500 caught fire around this area, and it was stored for a bit here at MOSI. As you can see here, we're in the Ordsall and Water Street bridges, built between 1830 and 1905, which is just basically right here, and it's grade 2 this is structure. But this is basically how the station building was there. That was a carriage shed, and this is the 1830s goods warehouse. And the steam loco is about to come back. We're here till good 3 o'clock anyway, good couple of hours to get some action. But we'll have a look around and see what's here. As you can see here, this is Novelty. It's a locomotive, makers by John Braithwaite and John Ericsson. Built in 1829 with a top speed of 28 miles per hour, that's 45 kilometers an hour, on standard gauge 4 foot feet 8.5, which is the current national gauge they use with modern trains today. And the whole history about this was made for the 1829 grand competition of the locos for the Liverpool and Manchester Railway, which is, as we all know, George Stephenson's Rocket 1. The trials, Novelty had a poor design. The wheels were too unreliable. This loco is a replica, not the real thing though, that's the only problem. But you had this, you had Sans Pearl, you had Rocket in like the trials, Rocket 1. And unfortunately this was what you could consider these days as a big loser. But it's a simple design. As you can see here, this big locomotive is a Garrett. Bayer Peacock built Garrett type locomotives from 1909 to 1968. This Garrett is an articulated loco. It's available off-rail railways with sharp bends and steep gradients. This GL class locomotive, number 2352, was used between, there we go, Durban and Kato Ridge in South Africa. From 1931 to 1938, they hauled coal trains till 1972. There's not many standard gauge Garrett locos in the UK. There is a few on the Welsh Highland Railway, but they're narrow gauge. But even the NDR had one. But this is an example of what they look like, even though this was built for South Africa. This cab right here is basically a Class 76 locomotive. Now the Class 76 were affiliated with Manchester, and the 77s. I'll show you the 77 in a minute. But these were built in Gorton. This is 76039, named Hector. The electric signature is a 1500 volt direct current made by Metropolitan Vickers of Trafford Park. Standard gauge as well. The top speed of this was 65 miles per hour. These locos were used on the Woodhead route between Manchester and Sheffield, Manchester London Road, which is now Manchester Piccadilly, and Sheffield Victoria. These went through the famous Woodhead Tunnel, which is still around with us today, but no tracks served there. Basically, the Woodhead route is from Manchester Piccadilly to Hatfield and Glossop. Go by Ashbury's Guy Bridge. But have travelled on the up to Guy Bridge, but I usually turn off. But sometime this year, though, I might do the whole route of that. But this is only a cab of it. Basically, this was the first electrified intercity. No, I don't think it was actually. It was an intercity route which was electrified between Manchester and Sheffield. I might be right, I might be wrong, but as you go behind there, here's the driving controls of a Class 76 locomotive. Even it says there top speed of 65 miles per hour. These were used on passenger trains. Then, when most of the line lost its passage between Haystone and Hadfield, they were used on coal trains and other freight. Here we are. And if we step back, that's basically it.
Welcome to the station building. This programme will tell you a little about the building's history and the galleries found here. You're at one end of a range of buildings erected during 1830 and 1831 to provide services for passengers travelling on the Liverpool and Manchester Railway. The passenger station is the oldest surviving one in the world. Liverpool Road Station ceased to be a passenger station in 1844. The station building and the shop units became offices and workshops for the railway company. The station continued to be used for goods operations until 1975. In 1978, the site was acquired by Greater Manchester Council to become the home of the museum. As the former shops and goods offices had become structurally unsound, they were dismantled and rebuilt in 1987 in their present form. The part of the building you're in was built between 1830 and 1831 to house 2 goods offices and 8 shops, with a carriage shed above at platform level. In the basement lies Underground Manchester, which tells the story of the city's water supply, sewerage and sanitation from Roman times to the present day. On the ground floor is the making of Manchester. This traces Manchester's evolution from a minor Roman outpost to the world's first industrial city. Along the gallery you can still see the doors that originally led to the individual shops and offices. From here, a tunnel under the railway tracks joins the station building with the 1830 warehouse. At the far end of the station building lies the only building that was here before the railway arrived. Built as a house in 1808, it became the station agent's house when the railway opened in 1830. You can exit the building and walk alongside the railway track past the former carriage shed, now partly enclosed to form the museum's design studio.
And that tells you a bit about this station building. Anyway, I'm going to leave now, go back to the upstairs. As you can see here, this is basically where the goods workshops all them are, but you can, they're basically in Manchester from the Romans. We'll take a walk actually, but 4D theatre, which is no use. There's a big clock, a couple of guys. Here's the entrance to the 1830 warehouse, which is on the opposite side of the track. Literally the trains are above us now. In fact, let's have a quick look. So this is the 1830 warehouse. Tell you what, it smells here. This is where the warehouse used to be. Going on the tracks again. This tells you a bit about the history of Manchester, to be honest. It tells you a bit about the railway here, which you can see a few things like this is the bridge that I was about earlier, the entrance into Manchester across Wall Street. That's Chat Moss. That's taking a walk to Parkside, Sankey Viaduct, the Rainhill Bridge, Ollie Mount Cutting, the Moorish Arch, the entrance to the railway Edge Hill in Liverpool, this is what the railway used to look like back in the day. I think that was at Liverpool. Yeah, it's the railway offices at Liverpool. Then this is the guy who needs there is the junction, George Stephenson. So this has been going on for about 6 or 7 minutes. And here, imagine a Victorian, about the 1830s. This is basically, I think, the area where you buy the tickets, or the coach station. Reaching this office, as soon as you have paid for your fare, you walk up the stairs to the coach room. So as soon as you pay for your fare, as you can see, this is how I do it. This is the view you see from my side. And you go up here. This is the station building, the coach room. takes you out here. This is where you catch the train to Liverpool. And there's the 1830 goods shed over there. Anyway, to the trains. Oh, there, just before we go to the trains, this is where the carriage shed used to be here. Anyway.
Well, probably, but it depends whether you fire itself is something that really because it happened naturally. So it's a lot of invention as to how we use it. Probably the wheel if you're looking at.
And also, the light bulbs as well, one is LEDs, so you can
There are a lot of things that led up to that though, like all the generation of electricity sort of thing.
that's a good picture.
Yeah, it is, yeah.
Basically, that's what right back to the picture. So basically, it needs to be like this, like that, and this, and that.
There's also things like relating to ships and flotation. This is the old, a very old platform.
Yeah, we could have died, no, we would have died.
Well, fire wasn't so invented.
Yeah, fire wasn't
so
discovered.
well, we learned to deal with it, or learned to use it. This is the way
Right, we're now at the end of the museum line. We used to be linked into the main line onto Liverpool, which is ahead of us. But that link's gone now, and this is to be cut back to within the museum after today.
Oh, you see that?
See the point
The
there?
new line to be built roughly from where that train is across us over to link with the line into Victoria on the right. On the right. It's going to cut us back into the museum, unfortunately. We're going to reverse back down behind the 1830 warehouse.
It's James, isn't it? The backwards down there. There's a new lane line around.
That's a good thing, isn't it?
Looks like a big thing come down there. Sorry? Yeah, well, this would be second class probably. I mean, I don't think that's old. It's not an original one. When they used to have first, second and third class. So the third class people were in an open truck. Only the first class people had got proper seats and windows in them.
We're kind of going to open to first class and second
point on the trip. We're going to go forward
Which points change?
Sorry?
Which points?
Can you see the points there, look?
Oh, yeah.
Change, so we go back down the other line.
Oh, okay.
Behind us is a bridge over the River Ordsall, which had to be built to get the railway into Manchester. It's got George Stephenson's initials on it. The new line cuts across between the Stephenson Bridge and the Water Street bridges, is where you can see the little electric locomotives.
Oh yeah, I saw it.
So it will cut us right back to within the museum of Fleetwood, I'm afraid. We'll be losing all these lines we're travelling on at the moment.
Does that close your image?
Oh dear, mate.
So this is the last time this train's going to go up today.
He said hello.
Liverpool
As you can see here, this is the Class 77. It's beef to Holland. This is why it's 1505, because it's NS. And I'll just get some details up, but these used to also work the Woodheads. Supposed to replace the EM1s, but it was cheaper to modify the EM1s, and there was only 7 of these built. The other one is at the bit. There is one at the Midland Railway Centre in Butterley, which has the original Panzergrass and painted in the original colours. But these were also built at Gorton Works. This is 27001 air drain, don't know how you say it, but these were designed to place the EM1 locomotives used for passenger trains between Manchester and Sheffield, Manchester London Road, aka Manchester Piccadilly, and Sheffield Victoria. Only 7 of these locomotives were built. It was cheaper to modify the EM1s. The EM2s were redundant in 1970 when the Manchester and Sheffield services were rerouted. Some of the EM2s, include this one, were sold to the Netherlands Railways and used till 1986. And then they brought this one, they brought a few home to preserve them, and this one's in its Netherlands livery. That's why they call it Dutch livery. In the 1980s, you've probably seen some of it. I know 33002 is painted like this. But this is also another exhibit at MOSI. We had to go a bit higher up for this shot, but this is number 3 Pendar. This is actually a locomotive 3 feet gauge, and it was built in 1873. This is a tank locomotive, but these are still actually in service, but on the Isle of Man. This one is a sectioned example. They also built at Gorton Works. This locomotive was fitted later with large water tanks used for the Port Ewing to Douglas line. The line both longer and steeper gradients. On this line, Pendar could pull a train of 7 coaches, that's 400 people, at speeds of 30 miles per hour. But most of the Isle of Man network is shut. There's only Douglas to, I think it is Port Ewing, that's still open. But This is not for the faint-hearted if you don't like locos cut up. But you can see there, that's it sectioned. Then our final piece of the non-worker exhibits is this Bolton Foundry's New to the Willows built locomotive. This locomotive was built in 1911 for the North Western Railway of India. Used to pull express passage trains until 1947. From 1947 to 1982, Pakistani Railways used number 3064. This is a steam engine. But this locomotive was later converted to oil fire. We could do one then. That's like a drone. Record stuff off it. Use of drone footage of Phil Planet. Apparently the vent has been halted because Planet number 9 suffered brake failures. Mind you, you saw that video, it goes back and forth, back and forth. You see from the start it's got brake failure. So they're just checking it over now and see if we can get it moving again. That train's back again. Agecroft number 1's going back in its Vegas. Headboard. T57. MOSI, there it is over there. Just across this road.
At least we're getting somewhere.
Yeah, it's tiny bit back out now. As you see, the final trailer film was Agecroft #1, wearing a 1T57 headboard. It's 1968 all over again. So we're back to Deansgate to see what train and get back into Piccadilly, then to take it from there. It has been a good quiet day. There's some plays in there as well. Yeah. Actually, you know this, one thing I will do first before I get back onto the platform. Before I get the train back to Manchester Piccadilly, this is Manchester Central. It was opened by the TransPennine committees, 9 platforms, post group in London Midland of the British Railways. It opened in 1880 and closed on the 5th of May 1969. Manchester Central's railway station is a former railway station in the city centre of England, one of Manchester's many railway terminals between 1880 and 1969. It's been converted to an exposition and conference centre named Manchester Central. The structure is a Grade 2 listed building. The station was built between 1875 and 1880 by the Cheshire 9 Committee, CLC, and was officially opened on the 1st of July 1880. The architect was Sir John Fowler, and the engineers were Richard Johnson, Andrew Johnson and Charles Scarfe, for the 3 companies which formed the CLC, Cheshire 9 Committee. While it was being built, a temporary facility, Manchester Free Trade Hall Station, was in use from the 9th of September 1877, had 2 wooden platforms serving 4 tracks. When the station opened, the temporary station became Manchester Central Goods. Now, it used to have services to London St Pancras from here, especially the Blue Pullman. But now it's an exposition and conference centre. One of many Manchester stations that become redundant and disused. One is at Mayfield. There's Manchester Exchange, which is next to Victoria Station.
This is a metro and security announcement.
So I'm going to get my train now, back to Manchester Piccadilly. Believe it or not, this is the first TransPennine service. Just now pulling into Manchester Piccadilly. Rush hour start kicking in. And license up to the core cardboard.
service here at Manchester Piccadilly 1627, cross-country service through to Bournemouth, calling at Stockport, Macclesfield, Stoke-On-Trent, Stafford, Wolverhampton, Birmingham New Street, Birmingham International, Coventry, Limited Spa, Banbury, Oxford Reading, Maidstone, Winchester, Southampton Airport, Park Place, London Central, Brockenhurst and Bournemouth. First class coach here at the front, first class ticket pass holders only, followed by standard class CD and F. If you have an advance purchase ticket, please be sure it's for the 1627. Please note any tickets marked Virgin Trains only. Down the bottom it may say Virgin Trains East Coast or Virgin Trains West Coast. These tickets are not valid for travel with cross country.
Why would Virgin Trains East Coast even be here? Finally made it to Stoke-On-Trent, only 9 hours late. Arrived at Rugeley Trent Valley and it's raining. Imagine it's been on and off all day. Don't need any more rain because all our rivers are always all flooded already. Going to get the chase line back. The reason is I got the chase out this morning because it was supposed to be here at 7:40. So what was potentially a better chance of a missed the train?
Just for information, smoking with both cigarettes and e-cigarettes are not permitted on any of our trains or at our stations. Thank you.
How many coaches? London service which has 3 coaches. Just pulled into Rugeley Town. Oh, there we go. Where the film is leaving. Now back at, well, we just got back to Rugeley Town. We haven't started Rugeley Town this morning. We started at Rugeley Trent Valley because the 7:31 was delayed slightly. For best walk it just to make sure to get the train, otherwise I'd be waiting an hour at Trent Valley. But today has been a good day at MOSI, the Manchester Museum of Science and Industry. We got the CEGB on working some freight. Got Agecroft #1 and Planet hauling some passenger trains. But like everything else, all good things have to come to an end, and that's what the problem with the thing was. There was a huge controversial plan about the Ordsall Cord. People campaigned against it, people went to court against it, but unfortunately they lost and they couldn't fight back. They were told you couldn't, we got something in place for you so you couldn't fight back. And well, today was the last day of passenger trains going over that cord. Network Rail were on site to start working on it, so basically it's going to be a year, 2 years, it'll be open in 2017. But then Piccadilly and Victoria, once reached, there's been plans since the 1970s to get these two stations linked together without a change. And unfortunately though, they were thinking about it underground. That didn't happen. The Ordsall Cord was talked about in the 1970s. No funds for it. But they finally got the funds thanks to George Osborne. But we had a look around the museum as well, so it's been a good day. It's been a good start to the video diary thing, or documentary, whatever you want to call it. and I don't know when the next one's going to be. I think I might know where the next one could be, but I don't want to say in case there's another one before this. But if the next one does go ahead, it'd be a 2-dayer. No, actually 3-dayer, 2 or 3-dayer, but I don't know yet. I might do one this Saturday, I might not. Well, the Saturday be the 9th, but I might not. It might do, might not. Varies. I might do one for the 12th when I go to Liverpool, I might not. It's going to vary. So, anyway. So, we enjoyed our trip to MOSI. This is the only second time I've been. And funny enough, the 3 locos that were in service were hidden away when I went on the first visit, so I couldn't get them. But that's the end of it. You can subscribe to us on Facebook at Siren Trains. You can subscribe to us on Twitter, Siren Trains. If you like to dislike the video because I'm boring or you didn't like any of the footage I use, feel free to go ahead, but it will encourage me to do another video, diary, documentary, whatever you want to call it, just to annoy the haters. And if you like to use any of my material, make it your own, put it on a fake YouTube site, fake YouTube username, then I will hunt you down and I will deal with you personally, because this is copyrighted by me. Hopefully you enjoyed the show. All I've got to say is now Manchester London Road, no, Manchester Liverpool Road, sorry, because London Road used to be Piccadilly now. So Manchester Liverpool Road, 1830 to 2015, isolated, no actually, 2016, because we're in 2016 now. So Manchester Liverpool Road, 1830 to 2016, mainline link, no more.